Are voicing their concerns over a neighborhood they say has been the center of negative attention. Simone Jameson has those complaints.
Community members I spoke with here at the George Washington Carver Shopping Center in Douglas tell me that they feel that this area has been unfairly portrayed and that they want to set the narrative straight. Pete McNair and Ellsworth Swanson both own businesses on the Strip, also known as the Block.
The building that we own is originally was Swanson Snack Bar. Now we're doing some work on it now, trying to get it back up to par.
City officials regarded it as a site for gambling, drug dealing, and other illegal activity amid the pandemic. But these business owners say that's not the case.
In this area, it's always been pointed at as a drug-infested area, but that's not true. What people fail to understand is that whenever we gather, we just congregate to have a good time. Nothing more than that.
Olivia Cawley-Pearson and Kente One Carter Durham, who are both city commissioners, also come to the area's defense.
We are a sweet, loving community, right? And that's what we want to portray.
They also believe the increased police presence is uncalled for.
There are some positive things that's been going on here where kids have been being fed. Over 200 kids were fed on several occasions.
Gatherers credit Fox 31 News' report about area crime for prompting discussion and for creating the It's Time movement.
Looking to develop youth centers in these small communities.
Trying to get them somewhere to go that is positive instead of, them hanging out in the streets.
They are hosting a back-to-school drive, distributing face shields, Chromebooks, and masks for children in need. In Douglas, I'm Simone Jameson reporting.
Thank you, Nick. And Colquitt County schools are still moving ahead with their plans to reopen.
Committed crime centered around illegal drug usage, but they don't live in this area right here that's being portrayed on by whoever sent you that press release. So take a look at it. I'll get the pen. My name is Olivia Cawley-Pearson, Olivia Cawleypearson. I am City Commissioner for the City of Douglas for Ward 3.
My name is Kente One Carter Durham, KENTAIWONCARTER I am City Commissioner of Ward 2 of the City of Douglas.
Thank you guys so much. So tell us, thoughts, feelings, what do y'all want people to take away from this area and from what you're trying to do out here?
Thank you. Based on an article that was released concerning things going on in the City of Douglas with crime, illegal gambling, so forth and so on. It was portrayed as though those things only happen in the black community, which is where we are standing currently. We are on the block, what's known as the block, but also the George Washington Carver Shopping Center. This is a historical landmark for black people here in Douglas, Georgia. And the negativity that was placed upon it by people from the city of Douglas, the mayor, the city manager, and some others, without the rest of the council knowing anything about it, it was unjust and not fair. They made it look like only crime happens in the block area. And we want to get the message out there that that is not true. There are some positive things that's been going on here where kids have been being fed. Over 200 kids were fed on several occasions. We had Juneteenth celebration up here in which the mayor, who gave that negative statement, came out and gave a proclamation on that date, June 19th date. And he has also placed his business over to the left of us down here on the block in the George Washington Carver Shopping Center, where all of this so-called crime is taking place. So that's why we are here, and I'd just like to say thank you to you for coming, but we are trying to get the message out there. What was published before is incorrect.
So talk to me, are you saying negated that y'all had no peak in crime or anything in this area whatsoever?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
We had no crime in this area. None of the narratives that was named was not true. They were false accusations. And we come to say about the positive things that has happened here to rebuild. This is a place that has rich history.
Yes.
To where some of our people of the black community worked with their bare hands to build this George Washington Carver Shopping Center, to build it, to make it what it is today. We have some of the business owners that are working today to make this place a better place to where our youth and our young people can come and to have something, a rich legacy that's left behind for them on today. So it is a great thing at the George Washington Carver Shopping Center. And some of the things that they were saying and a lot of the things that was, targeting us, we're not that community. We are a sweet, loving community.
Right.
And that's what we want to portray to our community and to the world today.
That's right.
Thank you so much. So talk to us, y'all expand on the feeding that you said took place in the area in the Juneteenth celebrations,
Yes,
some of the other things, the positive things that are going on in this area. Bring that to light for us.
Okay, I was the chairperson of the Juneteenth Day celebration, where we partnered with a lot of young people that helped played a part of that day. We had a successful day, a peaceful day, where we all came together to celebrate Juneteenth Day. That's been established, but as a city we decided to get together and celebrate. And the mayor came down to give us a proclamation of that date so that we can know that that day is declared in the city of Douglas as Juneteenth Day. So it was a great, positive program, an event, and we had a blast. We had a great time. We educated the young people about Juneteenth and everything, and that's what we need in our community, to educate our community. And also they had programs such as Cassidy White, such as Chavez. All of them fed the youth on different days, doing different things towards the youth. And running with a mod, they had a march, peaceful protest march for running with a mod. So it's so many great things that have occurred down here to the George Washington Carver Shopping Center, which is known as the Block.
Thank you guys so much.
With all these accomplishments that you all had here, how was the news coverage? In other words, do you think it got out properly to the community of all these activities you all talking about?
Oh, that was great success.
Great turnout.
We had hundreds of people here.
The news media from all around was here?
No, we didn't have.
But that's the question.
News. No, sir.
Was it this? Because see, if it's not advertised, many cases nobody know what happened but you all.
Yes,
That's true.
but it was advertised locally,
Right.
which we use our local plug.
Right. Well, as a matter of fact, Douglas now, the local, whatever it is, was here. But how much publicity he put on his page with it, I'm not certain.
These efforts, being boosted in this area, have y'all seen patrols and stuff, an increase in police in this area patrolling the neighborhoods, and kind of talk about thoughts and feelings on that?
yesterday?
Well, yes, on yesterday after the city council meeting, a lot of the young people came up here to talk, congregate, reflect back on the meeting that did not happen as properly as it should have happened, because the young people who were there to speak, all of them didn't get an opportunity to speak, because all of a sudden at that meeting yesterday, the mayor said, okay, we're gonna stop at 6:55. But we've attended many meetings, and when citizens have concerns, we sometimes tend to go over into the 7 o'clock meeting. But however, he disallowed that on yesterday. But after that meeting, police came and they parked, and sheriff deputies parked right across the road, watching and observing as the young people were out here talking. So yes, there's been some beefed up patrolling in this area, which everything we've been told is that they're saying that the mayor told them to come over here and do this. And my perspective is, if you need police, you need them, but don't just call police to an area on people just because certain people want you to do so, okay? And I think that's what's happening. Because like I said earlier to you before the camera, some of these pictures back here, they haven't mentioned anything about all of the crime with the meth in those areas, but the block has been targeted. And for the longest, I don't know when there's been arrests or whatever.
Thank you guys so much. So tell us, what came out of yesterday's meeting?
Really nothing.
Other than
Nothing. Only thing that really with the meeting, no one was heard, really. I mean, no one was focused upon. No one was taken serious or anything because of the mayor and commission. I mean, they made presentation. They made presentations to the commission, giving out different pictures and these
information
pictures back here.
Yeah.
And they didn't take it serious. So really, to me, nothing really came out of the meeting that should have came out of the meeting. I feel like as if the It's Time movement signed up to be on the agenda, the young people, they should have been heard. As a citizen, that's your right. And I just feel like, it was rushed so that it wouldn't be looked upon to say, well, hey, we want to hear their voices. So I feel as my due diligence and as my job as a commissioner and elected official, I'm supposed to hear the concerns of the citizens. But when I do not yield to hear the concerns of the citizens, that comes to me as if I'm ignoring them. And I felt like that was strongly did yesterday at our commissioner meeting.
Right. I agree.
Thank you guys so much. Was there anything else that you wanted to add? I know y'all had mentioned the historical context of this area, kind of talk about next steps for this area. A woman I spoke with before talked about revitalizing this area. A lot of business owners were wanting to do that. Can y'all touch on that for us?
Well, I'll just say this. I know when I first got on the council in 2000, because I saw all of the downtown renovations going on downtown, I mentioned about Gaskin Avenue with the block being revitalized. I was told that the block was not within the downtown development district to receive any monies to revitalize it. I've been told that repeatedly. So, yes, since they haven't done anything for the block from downtown, these young people, It's Time movement, that's the name of this group that came before us yesterday, they are getting together to do some positive things to resurface the block and to get some programs, positive programs going up on the block with tutoring and hair braiding skills and GED assistance, whatever the needs are. That's what they're working towards. So yes, there are some positive things going on within this George Washington Carver Shopping Center.
And with revitalizing, it's already started the process of revitalizing, such as down to Swanson Snack Bar. They already revitalized and working on their building there. So therefore, it's work that's being done already that's taking place right here at the George Washington Carver Shopping Center.
Thank y'all so much. And tell us, what businesses do you own?
I own this building here that was a game room, but after the virus came, I have them closed down. I told them to close it up. It's been closed down for 4 months. The building that we own is originally was Swanson Snack Bar. Now we're doing some work on it now, trying to get it back up to par. And my cousin, they'll be opening it up shortly.
Good deal. So kind of y'all talk to us about this area. How long have y'all been business owners in this area?
Now, my father, he had a business here for better than 50 years. Swanson Snack Bar. Now, in the 50 years that he been here, I worked at the snack bar. There was no trouble here at the snack bar. In this area, it's always have been pointed at as a drug-infested area, but that's not true. What people fail to understand is that whenever we gather, we just congregate to have a good time, nothing more than that. But they want to portray us as being bad, drug dealers and all. That's not true. We are honorable people here in this area. We just like to have fun. Like they asked me the other day, can they come and party? No problem. As long as no one breaking the law, we have no problem with them party. They play their music, no problem. But it's a problem with someone else. So I don't know who it could be. But we have no problem with anyone congregating and just having a good time.
Thank y'all so much. So tell us, in the years that y'all have been here, what changes has this area seen? You know, has it grown? Have people been, you know, congregating more? Have there been 50 or more people?
Well, I say my father's been passed now about 3 years. We haven't had a whole lot going on here during this time. There haven't been a whole lot of congregating up here since that time. It's just been a while back that a few people had come up here together. But other than that, nothing has been going on. That is the reason why me and my brothers and sisters and I, we come in to try and get everything back up with the building. So they were talking about the beautification, and we done what we could do. Now we are working on the inside of the building.
Thank y'all so much. That work that's happening inside of the building, elaborate on that for us a little bit more. What changes can we expect?
That building there, what we're doing now, I told them that we needed to get it up to par. We had to go ahead on and change the bathroom because make it handicap accessible. We're doing that. We're changing the counter box on the inside because it was fusion. Now we're putting breaker boxes in. We're also making the kitchen area larger to accommodate them for what they're going to do.
Good deal. So when can we expect some of those improvements?
Well, we're working on it now. We're hoping to have it within the next few months to have it up to par.
Thank you so much. And so I know that Mr. Pete, was it? Y'all, you had said that the business had been slower, like closed because of the pandemic.
Yes, right.
So what have y'all been doing in the meantime to get by?
We just been doing what we could do.
Do y'all live over in this ward, or?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you so much. So tell us, what do y'all want to get out to the community, or set the narrative rather, about what's taking place out here, and what's next for the area?
We would like people to know that this is George Washington Carver Shopping Center. It is known as the block. That was just a name that the people come up with back in somewhere along 68. 64 was whenever a lot of these buildings was opening. Then the people in the community, we just call it the block. But it's always have been George Washington Carver Shopping Center.
You have a sign out there on the road to say George Washington Carver Shopping Center.
So tell us, what type of businesses are out here? Because I look and I see some of them are like boarded up, like down there. Can y'all just kind of like give me a run through of what type of businesses? I know y'all said there's a game room here, but what other businesses are here on this strip?
Well, one used to be a barber shop. One used to be a laundromat. And Swanson Snack Bar. And a laundry, 2-room, club, and a barbecue place, and a store.
Thank y'all so much. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, there is not area's not bad as they say it is. They want to make like this area so bad, but it ain't. It's not a bad area. And like I say, they gonna make like it's a drug infected area, but you gonna find drugs all over the United States, not just here. You gonna find some drugs here, but I came down here and cleaned up, and I didn't find no drugs. But young folks gonna be young folks. Some gonna smoke marijuana, some gonna do a little bluff, some gonna drink alcohol. But we got to work with those young folks, not work against them.
I want to ask that question.
Go ahead.
One question, well, two really. Have you all ever considered or asked for assistance with maybe someone writing a grant or anything to assist you all?
Well, they mentioned a grant a while back, but see, I'm very leery of grants myself. You understand what I'm saying? They're saying they're giving you something when I know that ain't nobody giving you anything. So if you get a grant, you're gonna have to pay it back. So you got to have the means to pay that back. If not, then they will wind up with your property.
Okay.
So that's one thing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I went one time there and said it some years ago when they had some money available. And went down there and I talked with them about the grant, some grant money. They told me all the money was gone, but they would let me hang fire $50 for the arm across the front of the building. I told them I didn't want my arm across at that time. I want to fix the building.
Thank you all.
And from my understanding, a grant will only let you do work on the exterior of the building, nothing on the inside, just the exterior. So we don't need that.
Thank y'all so much.
My name is Warder Killebrew, Z-A-W-O-R-D-I-E, Killebrew, K-I-L-L-I-E-B-R-E-W. I'm part of the It's Time movement.
My name is Latoria Coco Hall, L-A-T-O-R-Y-A-C-O-C-O-H-A-L-L, and I am a part of the It's Time movement.
Beautiful, guys. So tell us about this time movement. What are y'all about?
It's Time movement was actually organized approximately a week ago. We came together after the false accusations was made by our mayor, Tony Fox, on the news last week. So what we came together to do is to just show and shine the spotlight on the positive things that's going on in our community. So with It's Time movement, we have a lot of things scheduled on our agenda that we did get out yesterday at the city council meeting. Not only for the city of Douglas, but for the entire county. So some of the things we have on the agenda is we're looking to develop youth centers in these small communities such as the one that we're in today. And with those youth centers, it gives our kids a chance to surf the web, do homework if they don't have computers at home or access to internet. Maybe some of the smaller kids don't have a chance to watch cartoons, watch TV, so we have TV set up for them. We also have games and all set up for the ones that don't have access to PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones. They have the opportunity to stop by the community center and play those. We'll also help them with job searches, teach them how to fill out applications, teach them how to get online, search for colleges, apply for different jobs. Entertain them in some of the work-ready programs because everybody is not college material. So we'll have them set up by the time they get out of high school to where they can go on a job with a proper resume, and they may start as a regular employee, but they will continue to excel in that facility, wherever it is they may be.
I love it. Thank y'all so much. Did you want to chime in more about what y'all are doing for the youth and the impact here?
Yes, well, we're trying to make it to where these kids have something to do. I mean, even looking at COVID, it's a lot. I seen where the buses were running to feed these kids, where we're trying to build it to where we can feed our own kids instead of having to depend on the school systems. We're trying to get them somewhere to go that is positive, instead of, them hanging out in the streets, because like last Monday, a lady said the out of mind is the devil's workshop. So we're trying to give them something to do so they don't have all that time to think negative.
I love it. And so tell me, y'all are planning to bring forth all these changes. How are y'all and where are y'all getting the funds, or how do you plan to get the funds to do that?
Okay, right now, if you haven't, go to my Facebook page. It's Latoria Coco Hall. We have a GoFundMe there. Click the link and help fund the community.
Yes.
We are also taking donations on August the 1st. We'll be throughout the community with baskets with some of our local youth, and we'll be collecting money. We're gonna use our community to back us. We don't want anything from the city of Douglas, nothing from the county. We're gonna do this ourselves to show them that it's time. It's time for us to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the community is what's going to rebuild the George Washington Carver shopping center.
Yeah.
We're going to do this free of charge. I mean, anyone that has skills, please contact me on Facebook, because we need y'all to help us rebuild this.
And so when y'all say the rebuilding, what are some of the first few projects in that rebuilding that y'all want to get finished?
Okay, now the first project we have is scheduled for August the 8th. Due to the COVID, we're gonna do a drive-through back-to-school function. What we will have at this back-to-school giveaway, we'll have book bags, paper, pencils, pens, crayons, etc. for the kids that are having to go back to school. Also with that will be included hand sanitizers and face masks. If there's anyone out there that would like to donate face masks and hand sanitizers to our kids, contact me or someone from the It's Time movement and let's get it going. We'll also have Chromebooks. Now right now we only have 5. So no matter how many we have, we will be giving them back. So the Chromebooks will be if your child have a disability and they don't need to go to school, but they don't have access to a computer, laptop, or anything, those Chromebooks will be for them. They're free. We will give them to you, and whatever you as the parent does with that, that's your particular business, but it is for the kids.
Thank y'all so much. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I want to ask you something. You spoke so well. You laid it out so clear. But was you at City Council meeting last night?
I was.
Did you get to present the ideas of where you all are seeking to go at the meeting before your elected officials last night? If not, why not?
Okay, no, I was not able to speak and get that information out to our city officials because there was a conflict between 2 gentlemen that they failed to tell their community the truth. And the truth is here on Fox News that was aired on July the 20th of 2020. They wanted to debate back and forth on who said what, how it was said, when we all seen plain as day. It was quoted, the block is the place for drug dealing, underage drinking, illegal fighting, and etc. So because they took our last 15 minutes to debate with each other on about who said it and who didn't say it, instead of just acknowledging that they failed us as a community, we did not get to display these suggestions that we have here in our city.
One other thing, currently at the regular meeting, in a lot of cities, they let citizens ask questions at any regular meeting, and I go all over the state. Why do you think Douglas will not allow citizens to speak even at the regular meeting? After all, we're supposed to be a government all for and by the people.
Well, the only ones that are allowed to speak usually are the ones that's all in cahoots and everything is going to be agreed upon. So they knew when we came in with our shirts on, it's time, that there was not going to be a okay, a yes, okay. We want answers, and we need answers.
At the same time, the mayor did tell us last Monday to come to that meeting with our concerns, and they was not heard.
They were not heard.
Thank you. A member of the police department just came up, and what did you all have to say about him?
That particular officer patrols our area daily. Now, what the city of Douglas has put together, implemented, is a PAC program. The PAC program allows you to communicate and build a relationship with the officers. This particular officer, I do not know his name, but he rides through, as you just seen, He doesn't even have the decency or enough respect to tell us hi. He has targeted our community. He pulled over our black men, harassing them daily. Not every other day, it's daily. Daily he is here in this area, whereas when we leave, there's nobody gonna be here. But he will be here, waiting for the opportunity to prey on us black people here in this community.
Now, is that just your opinion or other people feel the same way?
No, we have a picture of
it's
him
documented.
at In-N-Out store, which is another black black hangout, which is also a store that he's sitting there just waiting. And down Gaskin Avenue, this is where he pray at all the time, every day down Gaskin Avenue.
Well, another question is that he worked for somebody. So does the chief of police know about it? Anybody complain about it? Or
We complain, but they say Mayor Tony Paul told him to do so. Right. So that's why we're at these city meetings pushing the issue to get them to kind of fall back a little bit. We understand that the police have to do their job, but also allow us to breathe. Take your knees off our necks. Let us breathe.
That's right.
And at the same time, he showed up at the end of the meeting yesterday. He was out there. As soon as we walked out.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
That's how we heard about what they said about him. He didn't say nothing about them. What he wanted to do. Just basketball. Tell me something else.
All this ran so fast.
Right.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do, because on the block, let him tell you he ain't never come people on. I need to get in front of the white folks who want to say I can't watch. Which folks you want to
That's about we here. You over everything. You the boss. But you don't want us to be heard.
They presented the letter.
Why you don't want us to be heard?
Don't they have to present them for roses and all them?
What was your opinion about that meeting?
It's an ambush.
Huh?
It's an ambush.
So you want to speak, right?
I had to speak. I have to speak because they have to have support. They ain't got no support. If those black males don't come out and support these ladies, man, they gonna see how he do. That's what he'll do. He'll cut it off. Just cut it off. How you just gonna cut off a meeting like this?
Well, y'all get to speak at this
That's
next
a
meeting.
special meeting. Yeah. Then what? Who's gonna show up? That's discouraging. So see, it's like voter suppression. You stop me from being able to vote, then I don't want to vote no more.
Okay, so you want to speak then, and you don't want to have to come back.
It is a perfect storm to get our ideas out. And they know this. They listening now. See, they listening. When you listen, that's when you want to speak when they listen. You don't want to talk on deaf ears. You want to talk while people listen.
What's your name?
Still Michael Clark.
Thank you so much.
We don't went over the meeting several times.
City manager say somebody got hit in the gun and free for fighting.
Ain't nobody got to use no gun. Ain't nobody got to use no gun.
That's a sport. Boxing is like basketball. You can throw up playing basketball. You can get hit playing basketball.
Commissioner, what short? I know you got to go back in the meeting, but short form, do you think that was right? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Of course not, Mr. Hines. It's been wrong for a long time. This mayor that we got, I begged these people in Douglas, Georgia, to not support him. When they saw how he did Roscoe Allen about his $40,000, when they saw how he did Brandon Hall with his job, and now just 3 weeks ago, this black woman, Joanne Robinson, they just railroaded and got her out of her job for 17 and a half years. They do what they want to do to black folk. One exception, Britt Leverett, they did him wrong. He had reported on a white guy who had a Ku Klux Klan hood. Next thing we know, Britt done got rid of. This mayor upholds this stuff. It's time out for it. It's time out. The people better know what's going on and come together. And I'm telling you, you better find out somebody to run for mayor. That's what you better to do.
Because this is a step.
Because we started going back. We are started going back. He sure do.
He done sat there and told the biggest lie in the world on that man. Him and that white dude, both of them need to be locked up. This a bunch of bull jive in Douglas, Georgia. Douglas, Georgia need to stop. Out of 49 years, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Huh? If the man could sit up and lie like that, I could go take out a warrant and say Robert said he was gonna kick my ass.
That's right. And
now,
they ought
is
to
you gonna let me go with it?
They ought to honor that.
Was you a witness to that?
I was up there. I heard it on the phone.
Yeah.
Only thing that man said he was gonna impeach his ass.
I don't know who they don't really talk to. They heard Roscoe say, I'm gonna F you up and I'm gonna whoop your ass. I don't know who they heard say that. He made one statement. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, young people. It's time. Now,
This is the Get Too Free Press. I'm in Douglas, Georgia, y'all. We just had a city council meeting,
and listen up.
and it seems strange.
Mr. Moan gonna be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Yeah,
The biggest point about it is, hold up. Y'all know why it's bigger than the block? Because we ain't got the money that them white folks giving this nigga.
Right. It's a shame.
That's what it is. This nigga getting paid the dog on top. That's what he doing. Only thing that nigga doing is sitting in them white folks' lap, being a Benedict on a Uncle Tom, everything it is to be. That's what that nigga is. He ain't shit.
This is the Get Too Free Press. I'm George Boss Ryan. I'm going back inside, but I had to come out here and catch the flavor of the people. After all, we as a government are for and by the people. And when the people are excluded, we don't know what kind of form of government we got. Once again, bro, I mean, so what you ain't going back in? You gonna come back next week?
I got to come back to the next meeting, man, to get my fights out. Man, I can't get them out unless like I said earlier, I support everything we do in my community. I support these 100%. I'm behind them. And anything I think they need support, I'm there. But I was in here for a different part of the agenda tonight because it's like, I was on here on utilities.
Okay.
I'm here for the lights.
Right.
On my business. Because they charging us too much. But my thing is this. A gallon of water at my home and a gallon of water at my business got two different prices.
Wow.
Still a gallon of water.
But how much your utility bill every month?
At my place?
Yeah.
Minimum is $1,200.
$1,200 for water.
And we not
utility.
We're not open but 2 days out of the week.
Wow.
2 days out of the week. That's all we open.
$1,200.
They said because a business take more work to operate. No, I don't.
What type of business is it?
A restaurant. It could be a barbershop. You turn the light on, right? That's it. PCC, they got over 500 employees, so they shouldn't put us with because you got a business. They should put us because what type of business. You know? That's what I was just trying to get my point out.
Okay.
But I hear my people crying though. I hear my people crying, I got to talk.
And you didn't get to speak.
And I didn't get to speak.
All right, thank you, man.
Hey, get out on this.
Yeah. Commissioner, have you seen anything like this before?
Know what's going to happen is these citizens going to have to talk about what he do.
No, we need to impeach his ass.
That's what they're going to
That's
have to
what
do.
we need to do.
And stop kissing his rock and tell the truth about
Why they
it.
got
Tell him that he
Why they got
mad.
a
Tell him how he do.
Why they got a What they say?
Everybody needs to stop going.
No matter how much time y'all here.
Time I entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Thank y'all.
You lied. You got some mad because you know you lied. That's why you got some mad. I'm good. I'm good. It's just wrong for folks to sit and tell a blatant lie on somebody to get what they want. I'm good. I'm good. I want to tell them to their face. Hey. I'm good. Great.
live in this area right here that's being portrayed on the, by whoever sent you that press release. So take a look at it. I'm gonna get the pen.